Hey YouTube, how's it going? This is BillyEatWorld, and today we're taking a look at another one of my favourite weapons in Battlefield 4, the SRR-61, also known as the M200 Intervention. The SRR-61 is counted by many as one of the best bolt-action snipers in the game, so let's jump straight into the stats and figure out why. Along with the M98B and the 338 recon, the Intervention's damage model starts at 100 damage, which starts dropping off at 12.5 meters until it reaches its minimum damage of 59 at 150 meters. All the other bolt-action sniper rifles in the recon class reach their minimum damage at 100 meters, so having this extra reach will result in far more one-bullet body shot kills at longer ranges. At 620 meters per second, the Intervention has the fourth fastest bullet velocity in the recon class, which is only just shy of the M98B, which has the fastest bullet velocity in the class at 650 meters per second. The standout stat that makes the Intervention a brilliant long-range weapon, though, is its bullet drop stat, which at 6 meters per second squared is tied with the FYJS for the lowest in the class. This stat basically is a measure of the pull of gravity on the weapon's bullet. If you'd like to know more about how this works, check out my bullet drop video, which is linked in the description below. So with its impressive bullet velocity and low bullet drop stat, the Intervention has almost the lowest bullet drop of any weapon in the recon class, being narrowly beaten by the FYJS. The FYJS, however, drops off to a minimum damage of 36.6, so despite its ballistics, it's better suited for close-range aggressive sniping. The SRR's great performance at range unfortunately doesn't come without drawbacks. It has an 8-round ammo capacity, which is 3 rounds less than most other bolt actions, and it fires at a painfully slow 40 rounds per minute. What this means is that it's less forgiving when you miss shots, and you'll have less ammo to spare before you reload. Less starting ammo, and the time to rechamber a round will usually mean that if you land a body shot on a stationary target, they'll probably have time to react and move before you can land a second shot. That being said though, the Intervention makes it easier to land shots, so if you're a reasonably good shot to begin with, this should be a lot easier with this weapon than with any other bolt-action rifle. The most important attachment for any sniper rifle is obviously a scope. For long-range shooting, I prefer the 20x Hunter scope with the 14x variable zoom. However, this is a battle pack unlock, so it may be quite some time before you're able to run with this setup. The 8x scope is the most obvious alternative until you unlock the Hunter scope, but realistically with a weapon that's suited to long ranges, a higher magnification scope will allow you to use this weapon to its full potential. The 40x ballistic scope is actually probably more useful with this weapon, but realistically it's only really useful for counter sniping at over 300 meters. In all other instances, this scope is just going to be too high a magnification to really accurately track targets at shorter ranges than this. Now for any of the long-range scopes, the variable zoom attachment will give you the choice to use a lower magnification for close-range targets. A lower magnification scope will let you acquire and track targets a lot easier, however, sometimes you just need to zoom in that little bit extra to pop off a headshot or two. So unless you're shooting at extreme long ranges where the rangefinder will be of more use, this should really be your first choice attachment for this slot. I'd probably stay away from laser sights or canted iron sights for this weapon, as it really doesn't fire fast enough to make it a viable weapon for CQB. I'd also steer clear of the suppressor on this weapon, as it'll halve its bullet velocity, which will dramatically increase its bullet drop, making it much less effective at range. A muzzle brake won't really make a huge difference to the recoil of this weapon, but it also won't add any penalties, so there really isn't any reason not to use this as your barrel attachment. So all this considered, when and where is the SRR-61 most effective? As I explained before, the Intervention has an exceptionally low bullet drop and a high muzzle velocity, but it also has a low ammo capacity and a lower rate of fire, which makes it important to be consistently landing, preferably headshots, if you want to effectively make use of the ammo available. The Intervention's closest rival, the M98B, has very similar stats, but it has a slightly higher muzzle velocity at the expense of a slightly higher bullet drop. While both weapons will perform well at long ranges, the Intervention is probably better suited for hitting stationary targets like enemy snipers at extreme range, while the M98B has a slight edge at hitting moving targets where a higher ammo capacity and faster bullet become more important. Zeroing can help the M98B to overcome its higher bullet drop, but as the bullet drop increases at longer range, even with zeroing at ranges over 500 meters, you'll still need to compensate for bullet drop to some degree, which is where the SRR really shows its benefits. In either case, these weapons should really only be used when you're expecting to engage targets at greater than 200 meters, because this is where the lower bullet drop will become a huge advantage. All of the other bolt actions are more than capable of hitting targets at under this range, and are also better suited for more closer range targets, so they're really probably better choices for ranges within 50 to 150 metres. Just remember though that while the intervention will make hitting long range targets easier, it's not going to make you a better sniper, so don't be surprised if you're missing 9 out of 10 shots at ranges over 200 metres to begin with. You'll need a lot of practice to be effective with this weapon. Once you do start landing these long-range headshots though, I'm sure you'll have a lot of fun with this weapon. There's nothing quite as rewarding as locking down an enemy team with a bolt-action sniper rifle, because ultimately a good sniper can actually play a big part in a team winning a round. So anyway guys, thanks for watching. I hope you have fun trying out this weapon, and I hope these tips will make the intervention work for you. If you like what you see, please like, comment and subscribe. I'll be back soon with more videos on sniping tips and tricks, and with more reviews on the bolt-action rifles in BF4. If you'd like me to review a particular weapon, please let me know in the comment section below and I'll see what I can do. And as you can see, the gameplay that's playing in the background has still got a little bit to go. This is actually all unedited from a single round on Silk Road where I went 13-0. And it's a perfect example of what sort of damage this weapon can do on these types of maps. So anyway, enjoy the rest of the gameplay, and until next time guys, have a good one.
The charge is set up. Check your Bravo 5 DB.
看到了敌军坦克，发现了敌兵。
We disarmed the charge on objective Bravo.
我看到了敌军猎击手。发现敌人。